Good morning and a very warm welcome to the IPO of KATEK SE this morning on Frankfurt floor. My name's Edda and I will occupy you through the ceremony, which will last about 30 minutes, depending of course on the market and on the order books. You will learn quite a lot about the company that's going public today, KATEK SE, about the exchange here, about going public, and about the market, about trading and investing. And it's an IPO. KATEK SE is going public this morning. IPO refers to initial public offering. Is the first time shares, parts of the company are presented to the public and can be bought by them in advance of the listing now. That was the process before today, when you had a longer period of placement of the shares with investors. They could subscribe them in ahead. The subscription was between 21 and 26 euros. And before today, the issue price was fixed. The price the shares were given out at 23 euros. And today at around 9:15, you will have the first price on the market in trading, when it's not a process between investors, the banks and the company in a bilateral, trilateral sense, but it's then the market will price what it thinks it's worth. KATEK SE is a leading European electronics company offering software, prototyping and manufacturing and services for high-value electronics and services. And it is really fast growing, and in 2020 the revenues were around 414 million euros. Founded in '83, it has 10 branches now in Germany and in Eastern Europe, and has been growing consistently in those 3 decades. And now today, this going public, this becoming a listed company, is a new step. It's the sense of it. The goal behind is further growth, and the claim for it all is the powerhouse of electronics to become and to be a public listed company in that sense. Very warm welcome to everybody who just joined recently. You're observing the going public of KATEK, an electronic service provider, a specialist in the field of electronic services of all kind. And it's the listing, it's the start of trading on the exchange, on Xetra and the floor at the same time. What do you have to expect now in the next 30 minutes? You will, around 9, the market Xetra opens, and then you will have an IPO auction. It's really, like you can imagine, an auction. All the orders are in the book, and then the price will be fixed with by the most turnover, where the most shares can exchange their owners. And this procedure lasts at least 15 minutes. So you will be welcomed here at 9 o'clock. Then you will have to wait 15 minutes with a small address from us. And of course, you will see a longer address of the company itself. And around 9:15, the order book will be closed. The IPO auction will be over. And then you will have a auction process and the first price to come out, and simultaneously at the same time the specialist here on Frankfurt floor. Here you see him standing next to the pile in the middle of the booth, of the trading booth, and Silvio Bernhard from Stäubing, he will fix the first price on floor trading simultaneously. My name's Edda, and I will explain a little what's happening here. I'm from Börse Frankfurt, and if you have any questions, you can watch this as well on YouTube, and we have a chat there. Just ask us whatever you want to know. It's the process and the ceremony of a listing of a new company on Frankfurt floor. The company is KATEK SE. It's KATEK Group is the name. SE is a legal addition, and it's specialized on electronic services, all types. Normally these ceremonies, they are very crowded and with guests from the company, from the banks, from the media, but due to the pandemic situation, we'll have to do it digitally, and it's just a few of us from Deutsche Börse here being present and a few of the traders. And normally in non-pandemic situations, you have, of course, a lot more traders here sitting on the floor. Frankfurt floor is one of the oldest floors in the world and one of the last still existing really trading floors with traders being present. This is Arthur Brunner from ICF. He's dealing with bonds. He's trading major German government bonds, which you can imagine in large sizes. And the specialists here on the floor, normally it's 60 people sitting here. They offer you bid and ask prices continuously for the shares, the equities, the bonds, the funds, whatever they trade, and the certificates and warrants they take care of. On floor trading, every security has one order book, which is closed. It's not viewed by others, just by the specialist taking care of it. And the specialist publishes an offer, a bid offer. That's the offer if you want to sell on the left side, and a buy offering on the right side if you want to buy. From your perspective, it's called bid ask or Geldbrief in German, and they continuously offer those prices you can trade on with a size, a volume you can trade on. And they also take care of your limits. If you set a stop loss limit, it is in the order book, and they really take care of all this. They observe the price fixing process, which of course it's digitally done by now. This is Silvio Bernhard. He's one of the specialists here. He's working for Stäubing. Stäubing is one of the capital market partners of Deutsche Börse, where you have around 66 capital market partners taking you as a company through the process of getting listed in Frankfurt and on Xetra. It's both markets today. And in this case of this going public of KATEK SE, which is going public this morning in Frankfurt and on Xetra, Haug and Aufhäuser was the sole global coordinator of the process, and M. Warburg was the joint book runner. They are both capital market partners as well. The aim of capital market partners, their service is to provide you as a company through the process of getting listed. If you want more information on that, just contact us on deutsche-börse-cashmarket.com. I know it's complicated, but you can just put it into a very common search engine and you will find it right away. And there you have all the contact data for our services with capital market partners. But today now the major thing is of course KATEK, which is going public. And this morning, after I guess, because it always takes a rather long time, it's a very intensive period for a company to go through the process of going public. And now this is very exciting for everybody, for KATEK, for us, for the investors, because at around 9:15 you will have the first price. And then the market is estimating the value of the company. Issue price was 23 euros, and the subscription was 21 to 26, and KATEK placed 91 million euros and has a market cap before being listed, before being traded, of around 300 million euros. Market cap is the amount or the worth of a company on the market. That's the recent price multiplied by shares being listed. A very warm welcome to everybody who just stepped in. You're observing the first price fixing for KATEK, a specialist for electronic services, founded in '83 with a constant growth history of 30 decades and going public this morning. Silvio Bernhard now probably is talking with the book runners and with, of course, market supervision, who's taking care of the process in Xetra. Market supervision is a unit of Deutsche Börse, catering to the market, catering to the members. And Xetra, other than floor trading, has an open order book. You will see it later at the end after the first price. I will explain a little where everybody can look at the order book, all members, of course, and the public as well, because it is open in the internet, at least the 10 levels for best bid and ask of the order book, which is easier to understand when you see it, so I will tell you later when trading is running a little about this at the end of the ceremony. Xetra is the biggest marketplace for DAX shares worldwide. It has about, I didn't check the newest numbers, about 98% for DAX shares. It has the highest turnovers for ETFs in Europe, exchange-traded funds, but ETFs are traded on Frankfurt floor as well. In Xetra, only high liquid securities are traded, around 1,000 shares, 1,600, 700 ETPs, that's ETFs, ETCs and ETNs. But on Frankfurt floor you have all securities listed on Frankfurt Exchange. Silvio Bernhard is now on the IPO stand. We renovated, we redecorated and remodeled the complete area behind the DAX chart. The new LED wall where you observe the process as well. And this area is especially for ceremonies, for going publics, and we really hope very much that soon we can crowd the place again with people, with guests from the company and from the investors and the banks and us, of course. KATEK is going public in Prime Standard. That's the highest, most regulated segment with the highest transparency regulations, requirements before going public and during the process of being public. That refers to what the company has to report and publish, doing ad hocs in German and in English, quarterly, it's not reports anymore, but it's yearly reports, half-year reports and midterm. I call them reports now, about the numbers, about the business, and a lot of more requirements. So it's the highest regulated segment we have here. There are two markets. One is the EU-regulated market with the two segments, General and Prime Standard. And the other is the open market. It's privately regulated. Of course, it's regulated. It's on exchange. And there you have around 10,000 securities being included into trading. It's a lot of foreign shares. And on Prime and General Standard, you have in Prime Standard now 306 listed company. I think it's around the same in General Standard. And the strongest industry is industrial, financial services and software. And the sense of being listed or being part of Prime Standard is to get attention of international investors. And of course they can access via Xetra, which is our international trading platform with around 200 members from 72 actually in Germany. And members, of course, they are not sole traders, but the banks that are part of Xetra, 72 in Germany, 84 in all other countries. And actually almost 70% of the volume traded on Xetra is international members. There you see Kurt Gebhardt. He's part of the management board for Frankfurt Exchange. And he will start now the official part of the first price fixing. You have at 9 o'clock, the market opens, Xetra opens. Fif- 15 minutes, 50 seconds, 1 minute. The market is open now. On Frankfurt floor, trading starts at 8. But since Xetra is the bigger market, I don't want to say more important, but it's just the bigger market actually, especially for prime standard values securities. We start the trading of a company with the trading hours of Xetra. And the opening auction is running now for KATEK, company going public this morning, for everybody who just stepped in. As I see, there are newbies here in the ceremony. If you have any questions, just ask wherever you watch this. I'm observing the chat on YouTube. And my name's Edda, and I guide you through the ceremony the next 20 minutes. I think it will last, depending on the market, of course. It's not the market is the base line for the pricing. So what normally happens on the floor in Xetra, a matching quote is published, bid and the ask side, an indication, and the first price will be fixed with in between, and the same you have on the floor trading order book, and Silvio is probably giving out his quote. I hope he will, giving out his quote in a moment. Then you have an indication, and the regulation says that you have to have this process open with an indication matching range for at least 15 minutes. And then you can fix the first price. Sometimes it is adjusted, the indication. Then you have to wait at least another 10 minutes because everybody has to have the chance to be informed of the new order book situation, to adjust the order. Because if you, I'm talking about Xetra now, in an open order book, during the auction, it's closed. You do not see the order book. You just have the bid and price side given out. And you can just enter your orders, and you can delete it, of course, but you cannot do anything else. So you give the market participants are given another 10 minutes to adjust, just in case the indication is being his microphone was not on, so I hope I heard it right. Silvio just set out, and I'm not. I hope I heard it right. It is 20. He said. I think he said 25 to 28. I'm not next to him, so I cannot hear it clearly.
Herzlich willkommen zum Börsengang der KATEK SE. Der erste Quote sind 25 zu 28 Euro, 25 to 28 Euro.
So that was the first quote, 25 to 28 euros. To remember, the subscription was between 21 and 26 euros, one share. Issue price was 23. And now the first quote from the specialist order book, it's 25 to 28. And that indicates a first price in between those two price offerings. The 25 is the bid side and the 28 is the ask side, which means, in your sense, if you're an investor, if you're buying, then 25 is what you could sell for, and 28 is what you can buy for. Of course, this is a very big range. Normally, it's in trading, it's a lot smaller. Liquidity makes the price ranges smaller. This is just an IPO process here, and this is a price indication given out. And we have to wait at least another 10 minutes until the first price is being fixed. So, welcome to everybody who just stepped in. You are observing the ceremony of the KATEK going public. KATEK is an electronic service provider with a 30-year history, and it's going public today, which means that its shares will be traded on the exchanges as of today, directly after the first price is being fixed around 9:15. It's an IPO, it's an initial public offering, which implies that it's the first time it is offered publicly to more than 100 insiders. Insider doesn't refer to having more information, but to being professionals, professional investors, institutional investors. If you offer the shares of the parts of your company to more than 100 of those, not only professional investors, then you have a public offering. KATEK SE, to those who stepped in, is a provider of electronic services for e-mobility, climate protection, energy solutions, and with a very wide range of those services, and as well the development as prototyping and the manufacturing. The market cap at start of trading is estimated is around 300 million euros, and the company placed shares for 91 million euros. We're here on Frankfurt floor, one of the last trading floors in the world, with actually having traders sitting and taking care of the securities being traded here, normally around 60, and of course due to pandemic reasons they can also work from maybe home office, I don't know, but at least their offices of their banks. It's 8 Wertpapierhandelsbanken, as we call them in German, security trading banks, which provide or which take care of the shares here. It's not a job done by Deutsche Börse. It's not us doing it, but independent security trading companies, banks, 8 of them. And Stäubing is one. It's taking care of the order book and the going public of KATEK this morning. The Stäubing is as well as a capital market, as a trading bank. It's providing specialists. It's also a capital market partner. Deutsche Börse has 66 of them. Kurt Gebhardt will address now everybody who's observing the process.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Despite the ongoing current situation, I'm pleased to welcome you all here on our trading floor to the virtual IPO of KATEK SE. Due to sustained restrictions imposed by COVID-19, the company cannot be present here, but instead is taking part with video messages. For all of you participating virtually, these messages will be shown on the LED wall. In a few moments, we will begin with a digital greeting from Mr. Koppitz, the CEO of KATEK SE.
Today is a very, very special day for all of us. Today, KATEK is becoming a public company. This will change a lot for us. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of our 2,600 employees. Without you, I wouldn't stand here today. Thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you very much for all your dedication and passion. Nobody is perfect, but a team can be. The team KATEK, the blue team, is coming as close to this perfection as possible. The electronics industry is the backbone of innovation in our new smart world. Global trends like renewable energy, the aging society, e-mobility, or the Internet of almost everything are changing our world. The electronification of the world is unstoppable, and Europe needs to be a major player in this world. KATEK is the fastest growing electronics company in Europe. We are offering electronics tech solutions end-to-end, from software, hardware engineering, rapid prototyping, production to logistics and after-sales service. We are committed to become the European powerhouse of electronics and support the European industry to be successful in their specific markets. This IPO will help us to continue this exciting journey. It's gonna be beautiful.
Dear Mr. Koppitz, dear employees of KATEK SE, today will start a new chapter in your company history. After a long and very intensive period of preparation, the great day of your IPO has finally come. We at Deutsche Börse are very proud to welcome you, KATEK, one of the leading electronic service providers in Europe. Within the electronic manufacturing services, KATEK will gain significantly more attention and visibility with the IPO, not only in Germany, but only in the rest of the world. This will, of course, positively influence customer awareness, as well as support future business of your company. Your IPO lays the foundation for strengthening your current market position and expanding further business areas in order to stay ahead of global competition, as you said, and company challenges. By focusing on high-value electronic solutions in growth markets such as e-mobility, you named it, IoT solution, and renewable and healthcare, KATEK shows clear commitment to megatrends of the future. We very much believe and welcome in Europe as a tech location. It represents the European idea that we live and want to promote together with your company. We are convinced that your IPO on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange will benefit KATEK's goal to shape the future of electronics. We are delighted to be part of that story and that important milestone and look very much forward to supporting you and your company's activities on the capital markets. Listed in Frankfurt stands for quality, liquidity, and internationality. Having chosen our prime standard, you will be joining the segment with the highest transparency requirements of our regulated market, and our team is very much pleased that from today on, your shares will be a valuable part of our stock universe. Before we will proceed with the second video message of KATEK, we look forward to the first prize determination. Ladies and gentlemen, the countdown is already running for the first prize. I wish you and your company a successful start and, of course, a positive long-term development of your shares.
But welcoming the company, and now we have theoretically the moment where the first price could come any moment. Of course, that's depending on the market, how the order book situation is looking. Last IPO, we had a volatility interruption in the IPO auction for 2 minutes. So it's not it's a, what you hear there, don't mess it up. No, don't be confused. That's another going public at the same time of a spike. But we're still waiting here for the first price for KATEK simultaneously on Frankfurt floor and Xetra. You see Silvio Bernhard from Stäubing, the specialist taking care of the order book. And he's waiting to do his first price, and he will call out the first price, and could be any moment, could take a little longer. Depending completely on the order book situation, both order books. In case you just stepped in, you're observing the first price fixing in the last actually moments of the first price fixing for KATEK, going public on Frankfurt floor this morning. An order book is a virtual digital place where you have all the bid orders, buying orders, and the selling orders from investors with their price limits. Later in continuous trading, they are being matched continuously. That's why it's continuous.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The first price in KATEK SE is €27.90. Congratulations for the listing in Frankfurt.
A very warm welcome to KATEK and congratulations for the successful going public on Frankfurt floor. And that was the IPO auction being finished with the first price at $27.90. And what you see here is the last price at $28.50 already. It's going up. On the right side of the last price, you have the volume. And now what you see here is the order book. On the left side, you see the best selling offers, $28.45, and the best buying offers, $28.85. From your side, of course, it's the best. The $28.55 on the left side is somebody willing to buy, and $28.85 is somebody willing to sell. And you have the volume on the right side and on the left side. It might be several limit orders, but they are added together for one limit. And this is the first price you had after an issue price of $21.26. A subscription price between 21 and 26 and an issue price of 23. And the last price you see here, it's the last price fixed on Xetra. It's $28.90 after a first price of 27. And as you see here, these bid-ask limits in the order book, which are being matched and disappearing as soon they are matched, and as soon as they fit, because an order comes in that's fitting to one of those limits, or somebody places a market order without a price limit, then you have a price fixing, you have a new last price. And as you see here, since we had a first price of 27.90, you see the prices are going up. Not very much, but a little. You're already almost €1 above. Now you're more than €1 above the first price. Congratulations to KATEK, going public here in Frankfurt, and on Xetra. And we wish the company a very successful being public and a prosperous business and a great future.